Welcome back. It is a big blow for Nestle. The Supreme Court has revived the class action suit against the company, which was initiated by the government regarding the controversial Maggi case. Ashmit is joining in with the details. Ashmit, what has happened here that's now suddenly reopened this entire matter?
Well, let's keep in mind that this matter was kept in hibernation for the last 36 months. We haven't seen any development or forward movement in this hearing. But coming up after 3 years, nonetheless, what we had essentially was a question confronting the apex court that even while the Mysore lab reports have come in, what happens to the class action suit that had been initiated by the government? And this, mind you, is a class action suit where the government had sought damages of 640 crore rupees. Now, as of right now, the question, since it concerned the Mysore lab report, what the apex court has done is that it has sent that report back to the NCDRC. What that effectively means is that the class action suit has been revived. All rights and contentions have now been reopened. The government can go ahead and argue based on its class action suit, based on the Mysore lab report, on what the course of action could be going forward. What this does is that potentially opens up Nestle to a fresh round of litigation as far as the Maggi ban case is concerned. So that ghost has resurfaced, which should be a fresh cause of concern. That damage claim that has been made of 640 crore rupees could be revived. Even the Mysore lab report could be questioned again before the NCDRC. And this, again, just marks the beginning of a fresh round of litigation on the now infamous issue of the Maggi ban case. So clearly more trouble, perhaps due coming Nestle's way as of this stage. Back to you.
Okay. All right, Ashmit. Thank you very much for that update. Let's see how this plays out for Nestle. Moving on to another CNBC TV 18 exclusive now. Top government sources are telling us that the government is discussing the feasibility of the universal basic income scheme, but there has been no decision just yet. We have Parikshit Luthra joining in with the details. Parikshit, this is, of course, something that the market has its eye on quite clearly. What have you picked up?
We're hearing from our top sources in the government that the centre is discussing the possibility of bringing in universal basic income, but no decision has been taken as yet. There are concerns in the government. There are reservations with the cost to the exchequer. This scheme would cost about 2.1 lakh crore rupees, and this is a huge cost to the government in an election year. There are officials who believe that the government would be better placed to actually focus on existing schemes and their better implementation. Very soon we could hear the government announce 4 to 5 measures as a comprehensive package for farmers across the country. So what are some of the changes that are being looked at? Sources are telling us that all the changes would be aimed at income security, at reducing the input costs, increasing the MSP of crops, and at the same time provide additional sources of income for farmers across the country. There are also changes being looked at in the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana to ensure better implementation, faster settlement of claims. We are also hearing that the government is likely to include damage by animals to crops in the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. This has been a demand from farmers across the country. As far as the KCC is concerned, the government is looking at several measures. Number one, to increase collateral-free loans under KCC to about 2 lakh rupees. Also include livestock farmers under KCC. This is something that could be announced in the weeks and days to come. At the same time, push for wider coverage of the KCC scheme. Currently, the scheme covers only about 50 to 55% of the farmers in the country, and they want to extend it nationally to more farmers and bring more farmers under the net. They're also saying that they're looking at converting KCC cards to RuPay cum debit cards so that farmers have more income in their hands, and not just the Raitu Bandhu scheme, but schemes of Haryana, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan are also being looked at. And very soon there could be some good news for farmers in the country. This is something that Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, MOS Agriculture, also told CNBC TV 18.
All right, Parikshit, thank you very much for that. We need to take a quick break on that note. On the other side, all the commodity market action coming up with Manisha Gupta.